So when we're starting out talking about color and what you're going to do with color, the first thing you need to know is answer to a very serious question. Are you still at the stage where you need to be playing with the controls just to figure out what they do? Because it's a very valid thing. In fact, you'll never really get past a point of needing to spend some serious time playing with the controls and pushing them and seeing what they do. But are you ready to move forward and actually become somewhat of a production machine so that you can actually do better and more timely work for yourself, or to get employable and to do color work for other people? How do you become a production machine? So when you're sitting here working away at the controls, what's going through your head? And what are the things that got you to where you're working within the project like this, that it's now flowing, that it's going to become something, and it's got that fluidity and that I don't know, grace or elegance to it as it's going down the timeline, where it starts to become a living thing? How do you get to that living thing part of it? How do you get to the unified show? Well, again, that gets back to your organization, your ability to have an overview of the project and to look at something like this and conceive of what it can be if you apply a process to it. My entire organization is set up here to help me work with color. Notice my metadata bar here. I've changed it for the things that are of use to me. You can see the ones that are listed here. You can make your own. I like to give scene numbers for things because then I can sort by scenes. I also, of course, have a comment, and I put my camera numbers in there. I also at times use a description. Like here, I just did a bulk listing of V for all video files, which means that I can go over and do things like make a search bin. This one right here is a search bin of all metadata that says BRAW. Well, I can also do all metadata that has V entered into it. And when we click on that, this search bin I have set up as a freeform bin. Notice the freeform icon down here. And it's set up by scene, where I have the scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Within each scene, notice that I have the cameras laid out and overlaid so that here we have the HEVC, which is from the Sony A7 camera. I've got two B-RAW clips here, and notice I still have them both out visible because one of them has been normalized, the other one hasn't, and that's very handy for me to know. This is the red, which has also clearly been normalized. This scene is Sony B-RAW and red, and they've all been normalized. They're ready to be matched. This scene similar. This scene actually has only the Mavic drone and the B-RAW, so it's going to be handled a little differently naturally. And this scene is all three cameras, but this is the most interesting scene and in some ways the most useful to me because we didn't have a chance to have all the cameras set up and side by side to shoot test shots and everything, so I would have something to match the cameras to each other, which can be helpful. But this scene gives me the closest thing I will get to that. So if I can set up and do a neutralization and shot matching for these three clips here, then I can apply that to everything else, and I will probably solve a lot of the camera-to-camera differences in the project. And again, this is the kind of thing that speeds you up and makes your work more consistent by being able to identify issues that you can apply to the whole project.